Hello lovelies, welcome to the magical mystery master healing sessions. I'm Hen, your host, and I'm going to be taking you through some things to do with dealing with trauma. Now there's a reason I'm with you today. Now I am not a therapist. That's the first thing I want to make sure you know, okay? This has all come from my own experience and things that I have worked through in my own life. I have trained as a therapist previously, but I didn't do all the exams to finish to become a fully fledged therapist. Okay, so what I'm here to do is talk to you about how we can move through traumatic experiences. We're talking about things like, so this session, this is about dealing, okay, having tools, right? So we're talking about things like maybe you dealt with verbal abuse when you were a child, or maybe you were not going physical here because as I said, I'm not a trauma-based therapist, and if you needed that, you need a fully trauma-based therapist. I think it's called trauma-focused therapy. That's the thing you'd be looking for, TFT. Okay, so what I want to take you through, right, is the experiences and the things that may come up for you and how you can use tools to assist you in the energy of what trauma is. Okay, now you might be watching this and thinking, well, Hem, you do angel stuff and you do readings. How is this linked? It's completely linked because it moves into the space of your chakras and it goes with that energy and that vibration. Okay, so to get this started, to get us into presence, so whether you're watching me now, whether you're watching me in the replay, just so you know, this replay is only going to be available till my closing date of my course, right? It is literally for the course and it's the prerequisites that you would need. And there's a sort of a vibe to it for those of the people who have joined already. And there's this kind of rocky vibe. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen the film, but it goes, da-da-da. Da-da. So it's like that rocky vibe, right? That kind of, we can overcome, we can get the things we need. Now, I don't know if you guys are getting me because I do think I might be dropping in and out. And I do hope I'm not. I'm actually going to check myself if I can get on there, that is, because you know what it's like with these lives. Sometimes I can't get into my own live, which is just crazy. So hang on, bear with me a moment. I'm just going to have a look because obviously it makes sense that I check that I'm with you and I'm not talking to thin air, which I might be. But it's okay because I think YouTube still records it, right? I don't know. Anyone who knows can tell me in the comments, right? I know no one's here to tell me at the moment. So hang on, bear with me. I am literally having a look to see if, why is it doing that? Sorry, my phone is deciding that it's going to be awkward, which is normal, isn't it? Okay, let me see. So if I go there, and yes, it would appear that, is it working or am I frozen? No, I think I am absolutely there. So that looks really, really good. That's great. Okay. So yes, it all looks good. It looks like it's working. Right, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing. First thing I want to do, and it's something I do all of the time if I'm doing a live, and even if I'm doing work and when I'm doing training with people, is to get our bodies ready for what we're going to be learning. And the couple of things I would say always come to trainings, always come to things like this with beginner's mind. The reason is the beginner's mind will assist you. Often I get this a lot actually with clients, with students. I'll be talking to them and I'll say something and they'll go, I know that. And I think, well, if you repeat the statement, I know that, what happens is that you lose the golden nugget or the gift in the moment because your trainer, the person helping you, may have said more. But the minute you say you know that, you block knowledge. It's actually a non-committal act. It means that what you're saying is, I don't need to be helped with this. I don't need to hear this. Now, that could be angels, guardians, and spirit that are trying to bring you some information. You're unwilling to hear it. So always approach everything with beginner's mind, right? Right. Now, before we do this slight little meditation I'm going to do, it's not a full meditation, it's just a little relaxation sequence. Just take a deep breath in and then breathe out. So you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do another deep breath in. And a final deep breath in. Now, so long as you're not operating any machinery or doing anything that requires your attention, close your eyes just gently and just imagine your body is flooded with light. You may want to put your hand on your heart or on your womb space, or your primordial, energetic womb space if you're male. And just feel your body like, there you go. And remember, this is a preppy wake up call. So this is, like I said, it's that rocky thing, getting your energy moving. So it's that, shall I do it again? It's da-da-da, 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 so it's about achieving something. It's about scaling heights, okay? So I'm going to get a card. It's from Sonia Choquette's Ask Your Guides cards. And it's literally to tell us what this is about. What is this training, healing, almost session going to give you? What are you going to learn from it? Where are you going to go with it? Oh, we've got 2 cards. Didn't expect to. Oh, so it's talking about family. So there's a family connection to maybe the trauma you hold within your body, within your consciousness. And it's talking about, it says Holy Spirit. So you've got the guardians, the guides, and the spirits are literally assisting you in this right now. They're healing, they're helping you, they're closing in and working. And you couldn't even write it, new life. So you do this with me, you could get new life. The Divine Mother is accessing this potential for you. This is what this training's for. These are the 2 overarching themes for this training. Their family, sorry, no, wrong one. Their family and their new life. Right, let's talk training. Let's talk about what these sessions are actually about and what you can get from them. So the first thing is, so many of us deal with traumatic effects and traumatic events in our lives, and we do it over and over and over again. We experience these things cumulatively. Now, the reason I bring today's offering to you is because this accumulation of toxicity within our bodies means it's really, really hard to cleanse and clear the issues that are vibrating in our consciousness, okay? So, for example, you may have experienced something when you were 6 years old, okay? And when you experienced it, it'd be this big, okay? What happens as the decades on, so you get to 10, 20, 30, whatever, as you move forward, like if you get to 70, that little thing becomes huge. It gets really, really big, okay? So then often what happens is a lot of us, and it includes me, right? I was here, I was in this story. We go, we get cleansing, we get healing, we get cleansing, we get healing, we do all these different things. Now there's an issue with this, and there's the real issue is, what's happening is you're dealing with okay, it's got this big, okay, and you're just dripping water on it. I'm talking about these droplets of water on it. Will you clear or heal it? No, what actually happens is you add more to it, and you add more to it, and you add more to it, right? Now, the reason most of the things and the tools that we use are fairly ineffective is because we don't go right down inside, okay, where the pain is. And you can't do that on your own so easily. Going into that pain on your own isn't so easy, okay? So what happens is, oh yeah, there is a clock. There's no clock in YouTube because I can see how long I've been live. It's so funny. As I said that, actually, it was 7:44 on the clock. Now, 7:44 would indicate 7 is moving forward into a new space, and 44 was the angels will assist you in this. And what did we get as our cards? We got that the trauma was family and that the new life was being assisted, and that was going to be assisted by Holy Spirit and the Divine Mother. So we've got this new vibration coming in if you want to move along with me. So let's think a little bit more about, let's talk to you about, I want to give you some tools today, I want to give you some tips, I want to give you some help with regard to this, and the understanding of why, if you've got stuff trapped inside of you, just doing small things is not going to be effective enough. Now, I'll explain why it isn't effective enough. So, you have a trauma, say from, and trauma can, right, let's talk about what trauma is, okay? It can be difficult, maybe you had a difficult childhood, or it could be you had an accident when you were little and it traumatized you. You held it within, because often children, when they're very small, don't tell their parents what they're really feeling, or they don't get heard. And that's another one, seeing, being heard, being understood, being valued. Those things can cause trauma to tiny minds and tiny souls. But as I said to you already, tiny minds and tiny souls will put that tiny little glimmer of upset inside of them, and it'll balloon. Why? Because what happens is we go out into the world and we look for where it can prove it to us. This is how this is. This is how this is. This is how people are. This is how everyone is. And because we feel like that, the effects of the pain in our bodies get more and more exacerbated. So we start to feel it even more. Okay. Now, What does that mean? What does that mean for you? What it means is that as you start going through life, things get harder. They don't get easier, they get harder because your trauma's building up. Now, there was a lady, it was in a Facebook group that I was in, and she said this, and I was like, whoa, this really proves it. So she was attempting to build her own business up. Okay. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. I just remember she'd written this long post. And she said, in the post, she said, I am building my business and it's going really, really slowly. And then she said, but I need to admit why. And I know why it is. And she said, it's because I faced trauma as a child. I faced difficult situations in my life. I struggled. I couldn't get past my pain. So she said, while she was trying to do her business, it was like constantly hitting a wall. Then she managed to move up and she hit a wall. Then she moved up and she hit a wall. The problem is, if you keep hitting, well, let's make that a ceiling actually as I'm going upwards rather than a wall, because that would be that way, right? So yeah, so she was hitting these ceilings in her life. And she admitted it herself. And I'm breathing for her there because this is how she felt. She said it didn't matter what she did. She couldn't get as far as other people. Why is this? Because what trauma does is it creates blockages in your body. What are these blockages? They're sometimes ego, but more often than not, they're protection mechanisms that you put in place when you were younger or whenever you experienced it. So, for example, in 2019, I experienced a car crash, and I've got a new car recently. Driving that car is proving to be strenuous for me, and I was a really good driver, but I don't feel like one these days, because the trauma and not getting back on the horse, so to speak, or get back in the car and driving straight away. It took years. It's years, I think 4 years, right? So that was not a good thing. So I created what could have been small became bigger. Obviously, it won't be as big as if from a childhood. Childhood, you're going big, right? But from mine, probably still this big. That's a lot. Imagine that is on top of other things like that that have knocked me. And there was this is another example actually. I had a phone call with I need to have a medical procedure done, and the lady who called me up was rude. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. She was rude, and she's made me nervous now about this thing that I've got to go and have done, right? Because it's not the nicest or pleasant of experiences, and I could have layered trauma into that. And I could, and it's very easy for me to, but because I use the tools and the experiences I have, and because of the work I do, I've learned how to facilitate not piling it on top of my other stuff. Now we get to the rub. And here's the rub. The rub is, if you're piling all your trauma on top of trauma, on top of trauma, on top of trauma, it means you need a system to cleanse that. And it needs to be a very in-depth system, right? Because if you don't have an in-depth system to cleanse all these things, then they just, as I say, they build up. It's like that rubbish pile, isn't it? You throw the rubbish on there, and then there's more rubbish, and you throw the rubbish on there, and you go to yourself, well, it'll be fine, it will be fine. Someone else will take care of it. But the thing with trauma in your body, someone else can't take care of it, only you can. You are the only person that's with yourself 365 days a year, 24/7. You are the only one. Hello, Misha. That's okay, sweetie. You're fine to be late. I could have been late. It's no problem. I don't mind. It's lovely to have you here. I don't know if I can like on here. I don't know. I don't really know YouTube that well. No, I can't. It asks me to do things like, no, it doesn't give me likes. I don't know. I do Facebook a lot, but I don't tend to do YouTube a lot. So yeah, I was talking about the traumatic experiences that we hold in our bodies and the tools that I want to give you. Obviously, they're small tools. Really to do it is to really go into your system and to do the work, which is why my chakra course is there. But we'll talk about that later. But I want to talk about what it is that happens, and why we get in those spaces, and why we get stuck. So as I said, it becomes a big ball, and it comes from tiny experiences that get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's so hard because we don't have the training in the world that we're living in to deal with these traumas. Now, the angels have told me many times, okay, just bring the angels in on this because I feel like they want to talk, and I hear them going, we want to talk. They're saying, what happens in humankind is we build up traumas too fast over our bodies, and we're a body. We have our chakras running all the way through us, okay? Now, all our chakras should be in a straight line. Most of us are not, right? They're over there, they're over there, they're out slightly. Why? Because we've experienced trauma. And why do we push them out? It's protective. Now, then the other thing that happens is we've got a vibration. Did you see a fairy just went up there? Oh my God, it's so cute. So it was a little one. It just went, whee! So we've all got this beautiful vibration around us. It's an energetic body. So we've got the astral body, the energetic body. There's 4 of them. I don't remember all the names, right? Now they're meant to protect us. But the problem is we end up with holes inside them. These holes, why? Because of trauma. Trauma creates these holes. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter what you do. A lot of the very basic tools and simple pathways will not get right down into the trauma. They won't be able to assist you out of it. Why? Because all they're doing is scraping the surface. Thing is, if you keep scraping the surface, all you're doing is adding more on top of it then. You scrape a little bit off, but you add 10 times more in 1 week. You have a bad week. Or imagine you have a really bad month, or you have really bad 6 years. How much are you putting on top of that? So the angels say that what happens is the body actually has a self-clearing system. The body can heal itself. The body can heal itself from the junk food you eat, if you eat a moderation of it. It can heal itself from the products you put on it, if you're moderate in it. It can heal the trauma you feel, if you're moderate. But human beings aren't moderate. We don't do moderation. I know it sounds terrible. And many of you think, but I'm moderate, and I think I'm moderate. No. The products we use in our bodies are not moderate, most of them. The foods we even eat packaged. Even if the product was packaged in some plastic, you're already moving moderation out the window. You're already losing too much salt in it. You're already losing. You're losing the battle, right? Okay. Actually, it's made me think I might put a bit of a food element into the course. And exercising, things like that. We need to do these things, but we have quite sedentary lifestyles, right? So it makes it even trickier. Now, I have, and I didn't know why I brought this here with me, but I've got it here. So I've got this lipstick, and it's 100% pure organic lipstick. Why? Because I'm trying to be in moderation. It's still hard. It's still difficult. The other things that create trauma, noise, loudness around you, being spoken to harshly by others. Imagine you're 5, 6 years old and you've lived with being spoken harshly to right the way into your 20s, 30s even. Maybe even to your 80s or 90s, 20s, 30s even. Maybe even to your 80s or 90s, you're still experiencing this. Although I think by the time you get to 80 or 90, you probably tell people to get lost, right? Stop talking to me like that. So let's think about what any more experiences or examples, angels? Because the angels like to give you examples so you get what we're talking about. Yeah, they're telling me to tell you that the issues are in your tissues, so they're in your body. So, and the interesting part is another thing they're telling me to say to you guys is they're saying the person that annoys you, even when you annoy yourself, because I make myself irritable sometimes, they're saying they're the gift to show you that you have a traumatic response within you somewhere, or a trigger. A trigger is a trauma response. And it comes from something, someone, someplace where you've spoken to a particular way. Now, as I've already said, and the angels are asking me to repeat this, often it might have been someone just telling you were stupid. I don't know, you were 8 or 9. Stupid gets really big when you get older, because you feel stupid then, don't you? You walk around thinking, well, I'm obviously stupid, and he thinks I'm stupid, and she thinks I'm stupid, and they think I'm stupid, and school thinks I'm stupid, then college thinks I'm stupid, and then university thinks I'm stupid. Oh my goodness, work thinks I'm stupid. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But what that is layers of trauma, because you were traumatized by the first time the person said it to you. So you look for it. Anything else, angels? I said, give them the tools. So these are basic tools. Now, obviously, like I say, the chakra course is there for a reason. I built it for a reason. It's a way to help you to move through the spaces. Now, the reason is that the 2 main areas that you need really tickety-boo before you move through your life and to get to where you want to go and to have these golden goals, okay, is your safety, your security, and relationship. They are your staples: safety, security, relationship, and it needs to be good relationship, okay? if they're not running on, like cooking on gas, guess what happens? Things start to go awry. This is when you get problems here in your chakra system, okay? And trauma is held in chakras. And most of us place it into certain places in our chakras. Now, just let's do a little quick exercise, whether you're here now or in the replay, right? Go into your body, right? Into your body right now. Just, you don't even have to close your eyes, nothing like that. Where do you hurt right now? Is there anywhere that hurts? Be honest. Anywhere that you can feel more than anywhere else in your body. If you can, if you found it, drop it in the comments. I'm going to put mine in. Then I'm going to tell you what this is, right? So there's mine. On my screen, it's right next to a heart. So that's where I feel. Because, actually, I'll let you all put yours if you want to. If anyone else, I know there's a few people here, so if you want to put it in. If you don't, it's fine. You don't have to put it in where it hurts. Because it can hurt in really weird places. Like you could have a hurt just here in your shoulder here, or could be in your hand, or might be in your foot or your toe or something like that. So, okay, I just give them a bad life. I kind of went off a bit there, didn't I? Oh, well. Okay. If you didn't hear me, and I'm still here, what I asked you to do is feel into your body, and if you feel trauma somewhere, no, not trauma, I've given it away. No, to go into your body and say a place that, ready? Drum roll. The reason I put it in my heart. Now, you will put it in other places as well, but this is my major space to put it, So I always tend to feel things in my heart. I feel strongly in my heart something's going wrong if I watch the news, which I do not recommend. And within this session, it'd be no news. But yes, so the heart is the place where I store it. So you may find it in your energetic womb or your real womb if you're a woman, right? Or maybe you feel it in your gut, which would be solar plexus issue. See, the thing is, trauma holds itself in our chakras. Now, the tools, what do you want? Right. Now, to do this on your own, like I say, it's harder. I'm telling you the truth because there's no point in me lying, because otherwise you're just going to say, well, Helen said this and it doesn't work. Right. There's a reason that the small tools that we use are only, they're like no, that's not a good example. They're like taking a pill because you have constant pain in your body that they say you're never going to recover from, for example, okay? Because if you forget to take the pill, you'll feel the pain again. It's a bit like that. So if you forget to do the tool, you'll feel it again, okay? Now, what I'm going to say is the truth. You are never, ever going to get to a space in this life, once you're past 20, really. Sorry, guys, it's true. Well, you'll clear it all in this lifetime, because that's you've made it too cumulative. If you'd have done it before 20, come to me before you're 20, so 18, we'll work on you in those 2 years. You might cook on gas and run further and faster than all the rest of us. But for those of us who are not that young, or I'm like, why wasn't I given this when I was that young? I would have loved it. So the trauma you place in places in your body, what it comes from is, these are the tools the angels want me to give you, okay? There are 3 tools, and I'm going to give you some other things as well. The 3 tools they want me to give you are the mainstay of how trauma gets processed within you and how you probably processed it as a child. Now, often actions come in on this as well, but I'm going to give you 3 that are ones that you can do easily and use easily. And there's a reason for this, because it's no point me giving you tools that won't work because I'm not with you, which is why in the chakra course I will take you through everything, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So, for example, you have thoughts, okay? Right? Now, you're going to, what have my thoughts got to do with trauma? Everything. Everything. Your thoughts are everything to do with the trauma and the experiences that you've had in your life, in your lifetime. It's like, no, they are, right? They are. Your thoughts are, they're like raging flags of how you feel, who you are, and everything. And even when we express our thoughts, we give people markers of who we are. Imagine that. You're actually telling people who you are, right? So be wary of your thoughts. So how the angels put this to me, because they're bringing in they're bringing their tuppence worth. They're saying, look, so you have a thought, we're all quite, and I'm actually quite bad at this as well, we say what we're thinking before we've really rationalised whether that should come out of our mouths. Okay, so be careful with expressing your thoughts. The other thing is to watch your thoughts. It's to become observant of your thoughts. It's a good trauma tool. Why? Because when you become observant of your thoughts, you can nip them in the bud before they get too loud. So maybe when you were younger, you heard, well, you're never going to be a dancer. Why would you want to be a dancer? Who wants to be a dancer? You'd be rubbish at being a dancer. So then every time you try to do this thing, because it's something you dream of, you'd love to do, you hear those words, right? What does observation do when you go into your thoughts? It goes, hang on a minute, that's not my words. I never said that. I don't believe it. Watch your thoughts. Be in management of your thoughts. And the way it leads to speech, okay, is that what it does is it then means we voice these things out loud to others, and then they trigger us. Guess why they trigger us? Because it was already a bad thought in the first place. Yeah? Okay? So that's also to watch your thoughts, then to watch your speech. How are you talking to others? Tone of voice. What tone of voice are you using? Because we represent ourselves through the tone of voice that we bring out when we speak. We represent who we are by our thoughts, our beliefs, our limitations. All of these things are trauma-based. They come through from trauma. Not all of it, obviously. Not everything we say is trauma-based, obviously. That's crazy. The angels are going, be careful to clarify that. But a lot of things, when they lead to a trigger, or maybe they lead to an argument, or they lead to you feeling upset, that's when they're coming from this space. Now, I want you to remember this. Oh, I feel upset about this. That's coming from one of my trauma spaces. Oh, right. What do I need to do? Okay, I need to think about my thoughts. I need to think about how I'm speaking. And I need to moderate both, okay? Thoughts and speech come together. They work together. They're in cohesion with each other. You don't have a thought and you don't have no thoughts and speech, because the thought is the speech, okay? Even though many of us may not realise that because we talk too quickly. Like, for example, I'm really, really talking quickly. I don't even know that I'm thinking these things. Obviously, when I'm channeling, it's a little bit different. However, the thoughts are informing our words and our behaviours. Check in on your behaviours. We're not quite in behaviours, the angels say. That's a little bit higher energy. Then the third one, the third tool, and I'm going to give you some other experiences and things that you need and some other information, is how are you speaking to yourself? Now, this is a biggie, guys, and I probably should have gone for it first, but I felt like it would be better to give you it last. And when you speak to yourself, right, with sort of bad words, when you speak to yourself with sadness, or you speak to yourself in you don't believe you could do something, then guess what? You won't be able to do it. Because the way you speak to yourself is the life you experience. Really, truly, it's the life you experience. And there's nothing at all that you can change if you're speaking to yourself in dark, hard ways, because your speech is your support network. It's your only support network. It's the only one you've got. So you need to start, and here's where I move into the bigger part of this. You know, my channel is called Self-Love, Self-Care System. There is a reason for it, because trauma comes from not being self-loving or having enough self-care in our lives. Now, this is a biggie, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. When you want to start moving through these areas and these arenas, if you're not doing good self-care, you need to do self-care at least once a week. And I would say once a day, really, but how many of us get time to do that? But it needs to happen at least once a week. Has to. It's non-negotiable. And then self-love it really links into those things I was talking about. How are you speaking to yourself? What are your thoughts doing? How are you speaking to others? What kind of tonality are you using? These alone, just those things that I've given you there, will change so much in your life. You will be shocked. Just those few tools will change so much in your life. The one with thoughts also is around judgment. How are you viewing other people? What are you seeing in them? What are you saying they are? I know it sounds tricky, right? But the thing is, when we get upset with others, we label them, okay? And our thoughts go to places that are less than positive, right? And we trip up. Because the thing is, that affects your body and your consciousness. And if you've got trauma stored in your body somewhere, which we all do, by the way, we all do, you will exacerbate it, okay? So your tools are simple. Remember them. Watch your thoughts. And this is being observant to your thoughts. This is such a biggie, guys. If once you start to watch your thoughts, everything changes anyway. And it's so spiritual. It's quite high. Okay, I'm giving you high tools. High tools. And speaking to others, speaking to yourself. Then you need to make sure that you do give yourself self-care. So the tools I've given you are self-love tools. There are more self-love tools. Now, we come now into the course. If you are interested in working through these in a much stronger and higher capacity, my chakra course, people see it and go, well, Hem's just doing a chakra course. I can work through my chakras myself. No way can you do what I'm teaching you on your own. It's no way. You could do my self-led course, but even that will only give you some of it. The lives with me alone, the work with me alone, with me and the group is a very small group. I don't do big groups. I've been to these things before. I don't know if any of you have. But you go to these things and there's thousands of people and you think, well, I don't feel heard here. I don't feel seen here. You imagine you're trying to heal some kind of trauma and you don't feel seen or heard. That's no good, is it? That's no good. So I have small group, very small group. I've got a very limited capacity of people that can join. I only have very few places because I've already got quite a few people in there already. But what happens in there is you learn where your blocks are. You learn your markers. With me and together as a group, we will help you to move through them. And also, if you have a dream or a desire and it's something you want to do, we'll get you through the block in whichever chakra it is. We'll find it, okay, and we'll heal that. But it's a big course. It's a big course. It's a commitment. It is a commitment, but it's a commitment in the sense that it's a commitment to yourself. And the other thing that I'm going to do in it is I'm going to allow everyone, you get the actual portal. So Misha said her major space is her root. Yeah, so for you, Misha, darling, it's like safety and security. So you feel unsafe in your, well, you may not think you feel unsafe. The angels are asking me to say this clearly for you. The angels are saying what it is that somewhere in your life you were made to feel lacking in safety. So, and this is a big one, the bottom chakra, so the root and your sacral chakra, and really even your solar plexus, but let's not talk about that one right now, that they are really important to get sorted. Now, with the course, what I do is I take you through each piece. And I've promised this with everyone that's joined so far. I said, look, if you're on the course, what we're going to do is we'll move through each section until we've moved through each section. So you will get the course for a year, but we will keep going through the trainings if need be, if you haven't got there. Because the bottom line is, for me, there's no point you doing this sort of plaster-like work where there's a crack and you just put something over it. There's no point. So, for example, Misha says her root chakra, I've got my heart chakra. What is the point only doing so little work that you've only uncovered this much of it when you've got this much of it? I don't get that. I just don't get that. I can't, it's kind of abide by it, really. But a lot of the tools and the books you read and the sources you get tend to only do that top layer. But with this, we go underneath. So we kind of go the other way around. It's tricksy, and it is tricky, and it is cheeky as well, the course. I had a beta group, which was last year. They started in was it February last year? No, it was 2022 they started, actually. And then they completed in, no, that's wrong. They completed this year, actually. Wow, honestly, time's crazy. So they did. They started last year, and they completed in, I think it was June, July time this year. I think it was June, May, June. Honestly, my memory is terrible, right? And they all said to me they wasn't sure what they were getting. They said they wasn't sure what they were getting from the course. But then each one of them has shown changes and they've gone forward. New things happened in their lives that they were stopping themselves from doing it. Why does the course work? Because it goes the other way round. I don't let you approach it. I don't. It's not me. The angels. They stop you approaching it from the front. We go the other way. So we're dealing with the young stuff, the inner child. Well, Misha said, I feel like all children should be taught to process their emotions in a healthy way. And that's exactly it, what Misha said. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to your young child's aspect. We go to your young child aspect and we start healing it. We start dealing with it and clearing it. Now, see, what's good about that is the adult you, cleansing that, can then deal with the other stuff that's on the top layers because it's easy stuff. It's stuff that you've just layered on top. Gets easier. And the thing is, if nothing else, what I'm doing is giving you a foundation. It will create a foundation for you. Look, obviously, it's whether you want to or not, but I will be bringing out a game and it will keep going up, though. That's the only problem. The price will keep rising purely because I keep adding stuff. So the beta group that did it did the main modules and they had meditations. This year, it's going to be the main modules. It's going to be meditations. It's going to be inner child work. It's going to be they'll be doing somatic yoga with me. There'll be journaling. There'll be coaching. I may even bring healing in. I haven't quite decided on the healing element, but we'll see. But there's a lot. And imagine really going into the things that are literally stopping you from living the life that you desire. Remember my story earlier on in this training about the lady and what she said. She would have done with this. She could do with this course. And unfortunately, I don't know her, so I can't go and say, would you like to come on my course? And it'd be cheeky as well. And that's not how I work. And I just want to help you guys to have beautiful, fantastic, amazing lives. And yeah, if you do feel cool, please come join us. We are running into last call because I'm hoping to do the first orientation on the 6th of October, which is a Sunday. So, but everything in the course, what we're doing is once the first day happens, we will literally decide together when we'll do the sections because I think that makes sense so that everyone can be there. And if the time zones are different to mine, fine, then we shift the time zone so it's good for you because this is about your healing and it's about your recovery. And recovery is, now the angels want me to use the word recovery because they want you to recover from the paradigm of stress and trauma that's been levied at most of us over these last 10 to 12 years. And by removing that, you can move effortlessly to the new space. And what's the other thing I'm going to add this year, because I'm really excited, I'm going to add helping you as you move forward so that you don't have to be alone because, and that's not even something it's not a payment thing. It's me giving you some of my tools. The other thing you'll learn in there is my own trauma experiences and what I went through and why I do this. And you'll understand why I'm more helping you with this. You'll understand I don't do anything I haven't experienced. I'm telling you something. It is more value to go to a person who's experienced what you've experienced and learn their tools than to go to someone who's just trained in something that's never experienced your fears, the traumas, the things you've gone through and doesn't get it. Because the truth is we can't heal from a space of lack of knowledge. We can only heal from a space of knowledge. And that is golden. But as I say, guys, this is just the beginning. And, you can come work with me whatever way you like. I mean, I still do healing sessions as well. And I'm also going to be offering, it's really cool. I'm going to be offering this, and this is value. I mean, it's really cheap. You can do it. I'm going to be offering these monthly healing meditation sessions that will also do some of this. It won't be as big, obviously, the chakra course, but it will help you to start clearing and dealing with these traumatic experiences that were in your body. Because I think I will create it like that so that you have that. That'd be really, really, really good. So before I go, I'm going to do one more card. I'm also going to take you through those things again so you remember them. So remember, it's your thoughts. What's your thoughts? Make sure you're being in connection with what they are and recognizing how you're bringing yourself out into the world. How you speak to other people, the tonality, what is the tone you're using? Do you find you go high pitched sometimes when you get stressed? Watch these things, they're stress responses. And how are you speaking to yourself? Tonality, what is the tone you're using? Do you find you go high pitched sometimes when you get stressed? Watch these things, they're stress responses. And how are you speaking to yourself? And also make sure you're giving yourself deep and pure self-care. Right, so the cards that we got for pure self-care. Right, so the cards that we got for this session, for today's training, were trauma was coming from your family, and the Holy Spirit, the guides, the angels want to assist you. And you've got new life with the Divine Mother who's going to assist you through. You'll know when you do the course, if you're going to do the course, you'll know exactly what this pertains to. Now I'm going to get a closing card for everybody. I can't even speak. These have come from the Ask Your Guides Oracle cards by Sonia Chocolate. So let's get a final card just to say what will happen if you're so pretty. It's devotion, the nature spirit. So it's connecting into the divine, your divine aspect, who you can be. I have no idea how to stop this live, by the way, guys. You can tell I barely ever do YouTube lives. I do a lot of Facebook live, but I don't do YouTube lives. It's very new for me. And I don't tend to do them so much because, I'll tell you about this card in a moment. I haven't forgotten. I don't tend to do them so much because I find I don't get the viewership here, whereas in Facebook I get the viewership, and it seems like I'm expending my voice, and this stuff's of value and it will really help people, so I really want it to get to the people it needs to get to. Also, before I forget, before I do this card, I will say this is only going to be available for a short amount of time. Once the course goes live, you will not be able to see this anymore unless you want to, and if you do want to, hit me up with an email and I will give you the private link so that you can access it, okay? Because I do want to have it available to you if you need it. Just if you want to remember, or you want to get the energy and the vibration of the training, because we have the angels here as well. So yeah, that I can offer you, but I will put it as, I will take it off the actual page, the channel. So we've got devotion. So the angels are saying through moving through these aspects, okay, and starting to heal and work in the process, you can connect more into divinity, into source, which will help you with your vibration and your consciousness as you move up through life. And the more spiritual you get, the more devoted you'll get, and the more cleansed and healed you get, the more your life's going to be better. Remember, the issues are in your tissues. Remember, also, I'm a yoga teacher. So I don't just help you on a very, very visceral level. I help you on a very strong level. And as my yoga master says, everything that you've experienced in your life is in your body. You are it. Everything you're experiencing is you, he says, right? And I trained with a yoga master in the Himalayas in India, and he has a big school there. And he said that you are it, and it's you. So everything that you're feeling, all the trauma that you're not healing, it's you. So you have the capacity and you have the power to do this. And I'm here to assist you if you'd like me to. Any which way. Like I say, I do. My healings are really affordable. They're like, at the moment, they're only £36 for a half an hour and £45 for 45 minutes. So they're actually pretty good. And you get that time with me, and I help you to go through things. Obviously, with healing, it's the same as with the chakra course. It's cumulative. So you're cumulatively working through the things that you stored inside. And we only can heal what's inside if we go and find it. And most of us don't want to, because who wants to deal with their shadow? Because that's where that stuff is. So let me help you deal with that shadow, because I'd love to. I'd love to. I'd love to help you. And whenever, guys, whenever. This isn't a kind of call to join me now. I'm not like that. I'm just not like that. This is a call to, I'm here if you need me. I'm always here to help you. And I come from deep love. I'm not interested in, you get some people, they're, like I said, they're interested in thousands of people in their one course. I am really, really trying to teach myself at the moment that I'm never going to be that person. So what I'm going to do is always have limited, very small groups, which will be like crazy. But I really feel it's important that everyone gets to say what they feel and everyone gets to be heard. To me, that's precious, and I will always be that. Hold me to it, guys. Hold me to it, okay? If I start monkeying around or I start getting heady because I get more followers and things like that, you remind me that this is the me I want to be. This is the me I always want to be. Anyway, my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me, those of you who came to the live. Oh, thank you, Misha. Misha said, thank you, the angel messages, and angels. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, darling. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your comments. I really value them, and I value you, darling, and I'm super grateful to you. Take care of yourselves, all of you, and Misha especially for being here today, because it's absolutely lovely. And I think it was Rosie as well. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure for me to do it for you. take care. I can't say my usual spiel because I don't, because it's different, isn't it? But yeah, do give me a thumbs up on this if you feel called, and feel free to share it if you're called to right now, because it's still available, and see if anyone else would be interested in joining me, maybe if you can't yourself. So namaste everyone, take care of yourselves, and I'm sending you big love. Have a lovely, lovely day and the rest of your life if I don't see you again. But I'm hoping I'll definitely see Misha again and Tracy again, because you're with me normally. Take care, lots of love. Mwah, kisses, take care, bye everyone. Bye.